Facebook and YouTube land. Thank you for joining us live today on our ASIS live stream or for catching the replay later. So happy to have you. I'm Michelle, Education Director with ASIS, Massage Education. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of networking in the community, in the massage community, and talk about a really exciting event that's coming up on January 16th with the Six Figure Massage Club. And we're going to be bringing on right now Lacey Lowndes, who is the creator of this event and the Six Figure Massage Club, and get to find out all about the cool things that she's offering and why she found a need for it. Because we'll talk a little bit about how this industry sometimes can get a little lonely and kind of isolating just because of how we work one-on-one with our clients. So let's bring Lacey on. Hi, Lacey. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi, guys.
Thanks for joining us. I'm really happy to have you on. And I was really excited. So I should have had the postcard on me. It's out there for the children.
I have one here. Yeah. So I was sending these out.
Yeah, so I was really excited. We got those in the mail, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I want to talk more about this because it's a unique opportunity, a unique event, but not a unique problem that I think we have in the industry. And maybe it's not a problem for everyone, but I do feel like even though we work with people, we tend to be a little bit isolated.
We just go home.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a challenge. Even if you have coworkers, it's not really that easy to connect with them because you're in your little room with your clients. So, but we'll talk all about that. Let's find out a little bit about you. So, tell me a little bit about your background. I know you were talking about aesthetics and massage, so I'm curious to see.
Yeah. So my background is kind of all over the place, but I'm from Arizona, and I actually went to massage school in Oregon. So I'll just kind of go down the list like really quickly. I wasn't even thinking about being a massage therapist. And I got married in 2007 in my 20s. And when we actually moved to Oregon. And so I went to Grants Pass school for massage there in 2009 is when I became a massage therapist. Okay. So I was a little ways from Arizona, and then I ended up getting divorced in 2014. And so I came back because my parents were here. I came back to Arizona, and I had no money. I didn't have $1 to my name. I wasn't licensed here in Arizona. And so I took a job with a chiropractor. And I know there's good chiropractors and bad chiropractors in the industry. And so I was working 8 hours with no break for $20 an hour as a 1099 employee. And then so that would have been 2014. And my mom was letting me use a room out of her house. So I set it up as a spa. I had a fish tank in there. It's probably the only time I ever had a fish tank in my studio. And then I started focusing on in-home massage. So probably the only constant over my career has been doing in-home, like mobile massage. And actually the reason that I got into massage therapy is because my background's in horses. So I was actually married to a horse trainer, and a lot of low back, a lot of hip problems, a lot of injuries. And that's why I ended up going to school. And so I still work a lot in the horse community on equestrians and a lot of horse trainers and people who compete.
Nice.
Yeah.
And awesome.
And I'm kind of long-winded, but then I decided, because I started focusing more on talking about money and where I wanted to be in my career, I wanted to add like another $30,000 to my income. So when I ran the numbers on everything for physical therapy and return on investment, and then just wanting to care for myself, I picked Penrose here and went for aesthetics. And so it's the funniest part of both of these is that when I went to massage school, I had never had a massage.
Me too.
And then when I decided to become an esthetician, I went for lashes, and I'd actually never even had a facial.
I get it though. People say, they tell me that. I've heard it from people in the industry before. How did you know you want to be a massage therapist if you never had a massage? And I think, like, how do people know they want to be a brain surgeon if they've never had brain surgery? I mean, it's kind of, you're interested in it. It seems interesting. It seems fun. Seems like rewarding career. So, I mean, for me, I massaged, my family and friends since I was
Yeah. Oh,
I've
perfect.
been giving it. I had not received it though, and I did not know that you.
And then you become addicted, right?
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. Yeah, I
you
know.
miss when you get out of school, you're like, I used to get massage every day.
I know. We have alumni come in here all the time, like, please, could I get on the schedule? Or they go into the Swedish class, they're like, enjoy every minute of this. You're gonna miss it. Your everyday massages.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in school now, maybe you should make a goal to
I
seek
tell
out
exactly, and like exchange numbers now. Start getting each other's schedules going when you graduate here,
because you'll be like, we're gonna stay in touch forever,
and then things get in the way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So how long have you been doing the two together? Are you marrying the aesthetics and the massage?
I am, but what is so funny is I would love to give facials all day, but my clients, I'm more heavy on the massage side. And I think that's what made me a better esthetician too, is because my facials are more massage. So I'll do some neck stretching, and it's a lot of massage blended in with the products. And so my most booked appointment is a facial with a massage. So it's like, it's 2 hours and it's a lot. You start face down, and it's a lot of, and I do actual body work, mechanic body work. So it's kind of a blend. Yeah. So
that sounds very luxurious. I love it, and much needed. But I love that. And you bring up a point too. I know it's not what our conversation's about, but I hear from estheticians all the time that their massage training in school wasn't very detailed, because they're going to school for aesthetics. They're not going for massage. So it makes sense. And so it's something, that I could see you stand out to your clients.
Yeah, I had a lot of people call me from this school. So I met with a lot of the students. We'd meet outside, or they'd come over to my house, and I'd help teach them, because they brush over the massage in it.
Right.
So honestly, if you have both, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I've thought about it too. Just to learn enough about like what my skin does. That's why I want to learn everything. I want to learn about myself.
About 12,000 was the cost. Yeah.
So. I don't need to know that badly, but I'll just learn from people like you who could teach me some things while you're applying things to my face. That's good. So what was the transition? How did you get from being a practitioner to deciding that there was a need for this other, I'm guessing it's a new venture for you?
It is. Honestly, I wish I had a really good answer for you. It just kind of happened. It was like I was just being pushed to do it. Because I'm like, I don't have time, honestly, if I look at my schedule to do this. And I just started working on the book every night, and it just kept coming to me. And then, so I've been doing it for 12 months now, working on this book and just changing things and adding and adding and adding. And my entire goal is to have 6-figure mentors. So local workshops. So the networking event is what I really wanted to start with. And so just getting people together in the same room with the same ideas, and being able to exchange phone numbers and be able to exchange ideas and be there for each other. I know there's a lot of Facebook groups and things online, but we don't tend to like, hey, Lisa, I have this going on. For myself personally, and the people I know, I don't think that we connect like that, like we should.
Yeah, I definitely think the same thing. I know it's always been a struggle. Like I said, even if you work in a place where there's multiple therapists, there's not a lot of downtime in between clients to sit around and chat and catch up and talk about clients and how they would do things and that kind of stuff. And usually at the end of the day, you're like, I'm going home now, thanks. So it's not like you don't have time at the water cooler to kind of chit chat about things and all that. So And then if you're self-employed, forget that altogether. You don't even have people that you're seeing at all and passing in the halls. So it's about you and your clients. I kind of attribute it, like make it a comparison to like stay-at-home parents who don't talk to a grown-up for like 20 hours a day. And they're like, please, someone just talk to me about something that's not about some cartoon or something. And it's something that we need, I think, for multiple reasons. But are there ones that come to mind for you about what's really essential about networking that's important?
Yeah, so I started actually jotting down a few notes. Well, when I started writing down things I wanted to talk about, some memories came back to me. So when I came back here and I was talking a little bit about working for the chiropractor and getting set up on my own, I actually had a long time massage client reach out to me, and she was a CPA, and she said, I got this extra room here at the office. If you want to use this, there's been another massage therapist that I've had for many, many years using this space, and you're welcome to it. So I went and met with her. Well, she had a terminal illness, and she was looking for somebody to take over her clients. So she'd probably done it for 50 years. And a lot of her clients were in their 80s.
Oh, wow.
So she had me work on her, and she talked to me a little bit, and then she just handed over her entire book of clients.
Wow.
And so in a lot of ways, I was really lucky. In a lot of ways, it was, really stressful because they had lost their massage therapist. And then just through some other networking I had done, I'm just going to give a few more examples. So this lady had handed over her massage practice to me. And then there was another gentleman who had to retire from a shoulder injury, and he did a lot of in-home clients, a lot of people that come here seasonally. And they get like 2-3 hour massages.
Oh, wow.
And so he needed someone to hand over all of his clients to. And then there's been another gentleman lately who actually left the state. Same thing, a lot of in-home massage clients. So I didn't meet these people through massage. I met them through my other connections through the horse industry. And I was thinking about that. And I'm like, I have a lot of connections in the horse industry from the amount of time I've been in it. A lot of people that I talk to and network with. I'm thinking, well, why don't I network in the massage industry? And I thought, well, this is probably pretty common. So just with that there, I think there's a lot of missed opportunities for people when we're not networking in our own industry.
Yeah, I think so too. And so some things came to mind when you're saying that. Do you think that this idea of networking more is met with a little bit of resistance from people in the industry because of the fear of competition? Do you see that at all in the field?
I'm sure we have a lot of emotions that come up when we think of networking. Myself, I'm actually not a very, don't like going to parties that, I'm not the person who's always like RSVP, yes, plus, plus one. That's not me. I'm like, tell me, where is it? Like, what's the weather going to be? Yeah. So I get that. I think a lot comes up, but just, out of our comfort zone. Like, okay, well, who's going to be there? What are we going to talk about? Like, well, what is a networking event? I can see a lot of, resistance to wanting to just go out and network and meet new people. I think though that sometimes if once you step out of your comfort zone and you keep going and you try new things, you would be amazed where you end up. And that's what I've been trying to lately. Like, I was so looking forward to this call because I've been on with Amazon Sellers Network help this morning.
Oh gosh, and you poor thing.
So, I mean, they're stressful, and then there's, stepping outside of your comfort zone to something new. Like, you just don't know what's out there. And if you don't put yourself out there to make these connections, just like I said, that lady, she wasn't online saying, hey, I've been working with these people my whole life. I'm terminally ill. Can somebody take over my client list? It just happened more organically.
Right. Yeah. That made a good point. Oh, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah. So look at it in that way of like it doesn't have to be this huge event of things. It's more like you said, or the organic part of it. That's what I like about it, and not trying to force yourself into anything. Like I've been to like traditional networking things where people like just keep shoving business cards in your face, and I'm like,
Yes.
whoa, like this, not doing business with you. Like that's
Yeah.
really turns me
Yeah.
off. And I think sometimes with the word networking, I know I can get an impression of I'm trying to sell myself. And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be that. It can just be a simple, like, I'm just getting to know people and expanding my network. That's what the network
Yeah.
is about,
I
not
think
so
it's
much.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even need to have expectations. And that's why I made it at the Phoenix Zoo. This is the space I really wanted. And I was so
Yeah.
excited that it
Hmm.
was available because there's gonna be 6 tables. You can sit down and do a vision board.
Hmm.
So I think that's really important too. It's like you put yourself out there. It's, whatever happens, happens. It's not, you don't have to
Hmm.
have any huge expectations. Okay, I have to talk to 5 people and I have to
Hmm.
hand out my business card or let everybody know what I'm working on for next year.
Right.
But just an event, you could come out with your family.
Hmm.
Maybe you meet one person. Maybe something speaks to you. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it kind of comes out. So, you mentioned the vision board. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So the event is, well, first of all, it's January 16th, right?
January
And
16th, 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock. We have the space. It's the Grove.
okay.
So the ticket is your admission to the zoo. So when you purchase your ticket for the event, then I let the coordinator know how many people are coming. And
Okay.
then there's a table out front, and then you'll get your zoo admission ticket, and then you can come in, and there'll be signs to go. It's right at the front of the zoo. It's right by the giraffes. And it's called the Desert Grove. So there'll be 6 tables set up, and then I'm going to have all the supplies, and I'm going to do canvases, so you can make your own canvas vision board, and then you can hang it up on your wall space.
Nice.
So yeah, I might have trailed off there.
Yeah, no, that's great. No, I love that. And I love the idea of vision boards, and sometimes it gets overwhelming for me. Like, what do I have to do? How do I do this? So if somebody who has never done one before, are you going to kind of facilitate that a little bit and kind
Yeah,
of show what you can do?
yeah,
And
I'll have like some little prompts on the tables. I'll have all the magazines and stickers, and they're on canvas. So if somebody wants to, just paint something, they can
Mhm,
they can paint or use markers. And so everything will be there to put
mhm.
on the board. You can cut out of the magazines and glue on if you want. There'll be little prompts, and I'm going to be there just kind of walking around. And if you need help or you want a suggestion, I'm more than happy to. And
That's
I love arts and crafts, so I'm definitely going to be
yeah,
sitting there making. So
I love them too. And we were talking right before we went live about, over scheduling ourselves and not scheduling time for us to do things, and trying to, and I know for me, I spoke about trying to get better about that. And it's one of those things with, oh, arts and crafts, I'm not going to have time for this. And this is great that there's a dedicated time that you
yes,
come in with like-minded people and be focused on, or not so focused, really. You don't have
yeah,
to produce anything,
yeah,
but to be in the mindset. Because I know for me, I shouldn't say you, for me, if I don't make a plan for it, something else gets in the way. Or,
yeah,
well, I don't have it on my schedule, so I can work a couple extra hours, or, it's
yeah,
really important to book apart this, to set aside this time. And so with vision boards, and I kind of went through thinking everyone knows what a vision board is, but can you describe it for someone maybe who's watching who's
yeah.
not really sure what that means?
So a vision board, it can be a collage of any type that you want. It just helps you reach your goals and dreams.
Mhm.
It can be a piece of paper. You can do it electronically. You can do it online. But this is going to be, where you're actually cutting out and placing the images and the words. So it's
Mhm.
just things that speak to you and your goals. So it's just a visualization of your goals and what you're aspiring to. Um, you know, Specifically, it doesn't have to be specific to your business. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Mhm,
Like, it could
mhm.
be it could be broad for your entire life. And it's just something that you have there to visualize your priorities, your goals, things that you're aspiring to. Like, here's kind of how I put it. So I like to hike, but I don't always stay in shape. So if I book something like, let's say, the Grand Canyon, and I know, oh, I'm going to hike the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and here's the date that I'm going to do it. Well, then I know that I have to train, and I know I have to go out on all of these other smaller hikes to get to the bigger hike and build up to it. Whereas a vision board's kind of the same thing. So you have like a dream vacation that you want to go on, or maybe a new car. It doesn't have to even be something that's an item. It can even just be something internally that you put on there, and then you slowly work your way towards your bigger goal.
Oh, that's awesome. I know I've done them in the past before, and I found for myself I needed to then break the pieces down and have like little lists of how I was going to get there in a way too. But it was really nice to see that vision and see it what you're wanting to produce. As a constant reminder to yourself.
It
like,
is.
To keep the eyes on the prize kind of
thing.
And
that's how the book started too. So there's tons of amazing information and people out there and coaches on the internet and everything, and worksheets you can print off, or you can go on Etsy and you can create your vision board. And I had seen all of these things, but they weren't in one place. And so that's what I did. I put everything into one place for you to be able to keep track on your goals. So there is actually a place in the book too to create your own vision board, and then hold yourself accountable each month to your goals, so that you end up reaching them, that you end up reaching that end destination where you want to be. So I know we didn't talk about this, but I actually have created a contest, and it's centered around goals. So if you purchase the workbook and you put your goals in there, because I think this is an excellent time of year to do it. I always like to reflect on the year and set goals for the new year, and that's where the networking and event came from. But what I'm offering is that at the end of the year, if you've reached your goals that you set for yourself, I'm going to draw 2 names and give 2 luxury vacations away, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast, because I want to incentivize people that maybe aren't familiar with goal setting and working hard towards those goals. So that's something that they could put on their vision board.
Oh, that's awesome. So do they have to submit the goals at the start of the year, and then how does that work?
That's a good point. I was just going to have them submit the pages at the end of the year. And so in the book, there's monthly reviews that you have to fill out. So you have to submit the monthly pages that you're working towards your goals.
So if my goal is to catch up on all the streaming shows that I've been trying to do on Netflix, could that work?
On Netflix, you could probably do it. There's a lot of people have been sick lately, so
I know, right? It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that's a huge incentive, right?
Yeah.
Vacation. We all need one of those for sure. I love it. So let's talk a little bit more about the book and how it's available, how people can check it out. Or I know when it's the big launch at the event on the 16th.
That's the big launch. I've kind of done a soft launch. I have them available on the website now, and then like I mentioned, I'm working with Amazon, so hopefully they're going to be on Amazon in a couple of days. They'll be up, and then also I have them on Etsy, so it's all under the six figure massage. And then they'll be there at the event, so people can flip through them, see what it's all about. Because I mean, it's kind of hard when you're looking online and it's something completely new. And
absolutely. So because you said the word 6 figure, so I want to talk about that too, because I've heard of, there was recently on one of the Facebook groups for massage therapists, someone was commenting about business coach and how that business coach got them to now making over six figures. And people were like almost angry at that person. Like,
Yeah.
that's impossible. And what are
Yeah.
you saying? And like, there's no way you do that. And my clients aren't going to pay this and that.
I
And
think that's how this started actually, is because I started joining more of the Facebook groups because I kind of always been like a loner, not out there networking like I should
yeah.
have been. But so I would just read through the comments. I could probably
I'm
have better
total
use of my
voyeur
time.
too. I
Yeah.
know.
And reading these comments, and it got me thinking, and I'm like, well, there's like this taboo. It's talking about money and the amount of money that we are making in this industry, and that there's a lot of blowback on it about it, what it should be, or, not monetarily based or focused. And I thought back to my own career, and you know what? When I needed to make the money. You know what I mean? So I was focused on the money and the fact that I needed it to pay my bills and to catch up. And I was always just working to make money. And I was setting my goals. But I kind of changed the way that I was looking at it. And I'm like, okay, where do I want to be? It's like, well, I want to be in the six-figure range. So it was when I started actually looking at it from that perspective that there was a shift, and it changed. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this and looking, and I've noticed a lot of people are raising their rates. And I know that was a huge conversation for a while, and I think we're headed in a really great direction. And I know there's a back and forth between how much should a massage cost, or, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to make money? Or are you doing it to help people? Well, you know what? If you're not financially secure, you're not going to be able to help people. And the more money that you make and the more financially secure you are, the more people you can actually help.
Yeah.
And I looked back when I was doing 8 hours of massage a day with no break for the chiropractor. Was my last client actually getting what he needed? Probably not.
Yeah. After 8. Ooh.
Yeah. And it wasn't about the money at that point. You're working for $20 an hour and you're not getting tips. I was still trying my hardest, but honestly, you're not benefiting as many people as you think you are.
Yeah. Oh, so in your workbook, is there some things about how to kind of take those steps to start being a little more financially secure?
Yeah. So it starts off with goal setting. It starts off with you setting your goals, working on what your vision is. There's a lot of prompts in here where you have to fill out. And so where you're headed, what you want, what do you want to work for yourself? Are you happier working in a spa? Do you ultimately want to teach? Like when I started out, I had no idea where my career was headed. And I think that's common too. And this is amazing that your school does this, because our school didn't teach business. So you're kind of just thrown out there to figure it out on your own. And so it does talk about client management. And the best part of it is I kind of looked at myself and my own career and my own practice. And there's a lot of these things in here I'm going to be doing this year to make some changes, because you get so set in what we're doing. So it does talk a lot about client management and rebooking clients and retaining clients and recruiting clients. And so it has it all in one area, and then you keep track every month in this book. So if you have your normal planner that, normally I write down who my clients are, when they came in, how much they paid, everything like that. And then at the end of the year, I would go and look back, but there was never a place where I was keeping track every month and then checking, okay, what do I want to hit next month? How did this month end up? So it has a monthly review in it. So even if you're starting out and it's all new information to you, I mean, you can also use it if you've been in the business for 10 years, because it's holding you accountable to yourself.
Yeah. I think we do get complacent for sure. And especially if things are doing okay and we're fine with it. But there's nothing wrong with wanting more. And I think that's, you bring up a good point about this, people getting really upset about money in this industry, and we're supposed to be helping people, but we can't help people if we're the whole empty cup thing, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're not financially secure, what's one of the bigger stresses in life? If somebody doesn't have money to pay their bills or being able to get their vacations in and everything, and we don't need to be almost apologetic for wanting those things. You know, and you're going to get those people, of course, who are like, well, why aren't you doing it for free? Or why aren't you giving discounts? And,
well, see, that's the best part. I think when you are financially secure and you're not stressed out and you're not overworked, I can do friends and family day. You know, I can say, come in, or I can gift, you know, I can gift massages to my family for Christmas, or things that if you're completely focused on your business and you're not financially secure in it, that you can't do. Like, you can't give, you know, you can't be giving discounts. You can't be giving away your time for free. But when you get to a certain point, you have the flexibility, and then you are able to do those things that maybe you,
Yeah, I really like that. I've told students before, like, if they wanted to, because they'll always get hit up. You probably have had this too, where people are like, oh, you can come and massage our people for marketing, you know, to market yourself, and you're not getting paid for this job. And you're like, and it's like, it's different if there's an organization that's near and dear to you, there's somebody that's connected to your family, or
like
something.
I did make a wish once. See, I mean, the like, you go down there and you go down there for the day, and it's very, I mean, it's hard, but it's very rewarding. And that's, to me, that's the point of this career, is being able to do those things we want to do.
Right. In a rewarding way, and not a pressured way, and trying to like hope to hang on to these clients that are coming by. And most of these events that we get hit up all the time as a school. And a lot of them are these transient populations that are coming in, right? So they're like in town for this event or something. So it's like, no, we're not establishing connections. We're not. And some of it's like established, you know, companies and local people and such. But there's only so much that we can bring out our students into the community to do. They have a curriculum to follow, and we have our student clinic. They need their hours and everything. And so students are always asking, because they're like, well, shouldn't we go do this? And shouldn't we do that? And it's like, to some, we want to help everyone, but we have to have our limits and our boundaries, and we can't say yes to everything. So if we find something that's, you know, works with our schedule, and, you know, speaks to us, and it gives us more on our return on investment, not even money, but something that we're feeling a connection in the community, or we're building relationships, things like that. But we can't just say yes to everything.
Well,
and they
I always used to give gift certificates out for like the Phoenix Children's Hospital raffles and things like that for in-home massage. And I will tell you that none of the people who ever won the raffles or anything, you know, they didn't stick with it. They don't stick with it. But what I have found, because I have moved studios a lot, is that people tend to stick to an area. So once you establish where your area is for your location, those are that's going to be your client base. Because if you move to the east side of town, more than likely your clients are not going to drive across town. So like, we worked the Super Bowl. The last time the Super Bowl was here, we worked the Super Bowl for chair massage. And I thought, why did I agree? Did I agree to this?
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, you have to be smart.
Yeah, I bet you there was some adventures involved in that, and good stories.
Yeah, so that's the problem. I was up for. Good adventure.
Wasn't a good adventure. I love that.
Oh, so many people.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So what advice would you have for students who are, well, couple pronged question here, I guess. Students who are on the fence about whether to work for somebody or work for themselves and try to make it. And then also, if they're thinking they want to work for themselves, what's a really big thing they could be doing now while they're in school to maybe try to set the foundation for that?
Which is funny, because the number one thing I'm going to say is networking.
Yeah. Hey, there's an event coming up about it.
Yeah, because that's the honest truth. So I've, in a way, kind of always worked for myself as a massage therapist. I did work for that chiropractor for a year or two. But yeah, you have to hustle, and if you know people in the area and you have a lot of family or friends or people that you're working on now, you start building that network and start building that it's a referral network. So honestly, most of your best clients are going to come from referrals. So if you're just starting out and you know that you want to work for yourself, start building those relationships in the community around where you know you're going to want to be working. So whether that's in home, or that's you want to get a studio, or you want to use a room in your home, or yeah. But that's the other reason I wanted to set up this networking event, is I have people reach out all the time. I had a lady who had a room in a nursing home, and they just wanted a massage therapist. They weren't even going to charge for the space. And that happens a lot. Just when you're starting out, you don't necessarily have to go and pay $1,200 for a space. So you kind of get loose with
a little creative, right?
Yeah, creative with the things coming your way, and kind of look at how you can start out financially smart. Is that sharing a room with someone? A lot of massage therapists who are established, they don't want to work weekends. They're home, they're home with their family and their kids. So the space sits empty on Saturday and Sundays. And they're still paying their rent. And I can name on my hand how many studios I know this is true. So if you start networking and you start getting out there, there's going to be a lot more opportunities coming your way, and you're going to be, once you're physically ready to give all of those massages, it's going to be right there laid out in front of you, your path.
Oh, I love that. And so it sounds like you've said it a few times, but you definitely have an amazing network already if you're getting all this information. And
I think a part of it's just being online, and I've been in the industry so long, and I think it's just out there in the ether, right? I get so I got this text message a few days ago. The guy's like, "Do you want to buy a mobile spa?" And I actually have a mobile spa I built during COVID.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I don't know. I have one, but tell me more. I said, I don't know who this is, but tell me more. And it was actually, I think it was his wife was an esthetician, and they built this. They'd taken a motorhome and converted it. And he sent me pictures and everything, but no price. So these things just keep happening to me. People keep calling, and I thought, I've got to do a networking thing. I got to start putting this together. And honestly, I want to pay it back. I love the industry. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. And I just want to start giving back from the opportunities that have been given to me. And I keep getting these calls and text messages, and I have nowhere to forward them to.
All right. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Hit up Lacey for all her referrals. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
So I did see on your website, I was looking, which if everyone hasn't noticed, there is under your in your picture there, the sixfiguremassage.club. It looks like you will actually, by the name of it too, have like a membership type of situation.
Yeah. So the big goal on my vision board, I want to create a club for six-figure mentors. So if you buy a book, you gain access to being in the club. So it's just, you were talking about those boards and the negative feedback that maybe was on there sometimes about the six figures. So this is just people that all share the same goal and mindset. So people who are are completely focused on making six figures in their practice. And so I want to have workshops where you actually go and you're meeting up with these six-figure mentors. So you have their contact information, you can bounce ideas off of them, and then they're inside of that club space. So they're there for support. And yeah, so ultimately that's what I'm wanting to build. So it's a space for everybody with this very same goals that want to network with each other.
I love that. Again, like you have to be with like-minded people to achieve what you want to get. So yeah, not good for the naysayers. And there's nothing wrong with making money as a massage therapist. It's okay. We're telling you that as you're listening. It's okay. Don't be poor. if you can help it, because it's one of the things about this field. It's really this kind of sky's the limit. I mean, you might have to hustle more, you might have to make a different connection, but there's really nobody slowing you down from
it is. It's a hard career. I mean, I've massaged with broken toes and, whiplash. I mean, we push ourselves. And what I find sad is that if we keep down that path, and I think everyone starts out there, and maybe there's a way around it. Maybe I can help people avoid all that and and the hurt and the heartache of it, because people quit. And I was reading, when I started this book, I started reading the numbers, and I don't believe it, but I guess it's true. They're saying that there's only 360,000 massage therapists in the US. So if you break down that number comes out to there being like 700,000 clients per each of us, for each massage therapist in the US. And you see people all the time that are like, I can't get people in the door. I don't have clients, or, I'm sick, and or I have my kids. And so there are all of these hard things that come with massage therapy. So I think we have to band together as a community and kind of move the industry forward.
Yeah, there's so many facets to it that I know there's not one answer, but there's a lot of employers calling us and emailing us weekly about not being able to fulfill their therapist roles and having to send people away. And it's like, how do we get some of those connections with the people who don't have the clients and put it together?
That's the light bulb, and that's part of what I think needs to change. And I know this is going out on the internet, but I think the pay for massage therapists needs to change. It really does. And there's going to be an awakening to the fact that there's not enough massage therapists. They're quitting the industry. And I know the spa margins are small. I know that. But I think that's going to empower more massage therapists to be able to have your own practice, whatever suits you individually, but be able to have your own practice, set your own hours, set your own rates. And I think we're going to move the industry ahead, where we're not having people taken advantage of, because I hate to say this, but there are chiropractors that have built their career standing on the backs of massage therapists. And I know quite a few here in Arizona. One of my good friends, the lady actually got indicted. She was a chiropractor, and she had 6 of the therapists just working, doing massage. The clients aren't tipping. She's billing the insurance. And then one day the people with the windbreakers show up.
That's a whole other thing about misclassified employee situation, and then places counting on tips as wages, and tips are not wages. Tipping. There was a whole live stream I did a few months ago with Stephanie Rodriguez, who does the USO LMT group, and we talked about tipping and the whole issue with tipping. And like, it's great if you're tipped, but a company shouldn't rely on the tip as being a part of a wage. Like, it's and
I ran some numbers too, because when I just sat down here, because this is always on my mind for massage. And so I always figure, and I tell people, when you're figuring your money for the year as massage therapist, base it off of 40 weeks of work. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's, sick days, or your things happen, or clients cancel. So if you're figuring it on 40 weeks, that's 5 days a week. If you're doing 5 clients a day, that's 1,000 hours of massage a year. So if you're making $100 an hour, that's 100,000. That's your 6 figures. Now, if you're only making $20 an hour, that's $20,000. And I think they were saying the average for massage therapists to make was like $43,000. Well, that's simply not enough to live in Arizona.
Yeah. That's a challenge.
So the $20 an hour for massage, maybe, because people think all the time, oh, you're making $35 an hour. Well, that's amazing. Well, because, an electrician working on a job site's making $35 an hour, but he's able to work 40 hours a week, and he has insurance. So we kind of have to start changing hearts and minds about the pay of what massage actually costs.
That's a whole other thing too. We have so many business like topics. No, it's good. It's good that we bring it up though too, because there's other things that have to go into deciding about working for yourself, and what actually is your rate, and how a rate is not just like your per hour rate. If you work for yourself, you got to think of the overhead costs and the sick days and the insurance and all that other stuff. It's very, very different. So it's all things for people to think of. And I tell our students, that I mean, I wish overall, like you said, the industry is paying more in general, but I also know that not everybody set out to work for themselves. And that's okay. Like, we don't all have to be business owners. It would be nice for everybody.
Oh, some days I dream of it. I'm like, I'm going to go get a job at the spa. I'm going to show up. I'm not doing my own laundry.
For sure. Yeah. So I wish as an industry, like you said, we can just be a little bit more.
I think it's headed there. I think you're going to notice. I think there's been a little bit of pushback and like just the lack of people to be able to work in the industry.
Exactly. For the company to survive, they are not going to have another choice. I don't think. Yeah. You make it. Point.
You're not going to get rich.
Exactly. But for those listening, and hopefully we're not deterring students going, oh, where did I pick for my field? That's not what we're saying.
No.
We're saying the earlier with your numbers, there are so many clients out there. We just need to figure out how to get them on your table and to grow those networks again, to make it happen, because it can happen. And
and that's why I put it all in the book. So it's like, it's in one place. It's like, wait, where's that information? Oh no, because I have like 70 tabs open on my.
Oh my gosh, I have 2 screens.
I
have to have my 2 monitors. Someone told me that they had 3 the other day, and I was like, oh, how do I do that?
Yeah,
like, no, I can't get one more monitor. Don't do it. So absolutely. So there's a lot of hope for the industry. There's always a need.
I'm excited.
There's never not going to be a need. And
700,000 clients per person.
I know.
So something crazy, 70.
But it's true. That's why earlier when I asked about the competition thing, like, there is no competition in massage. There can't be.
And that's the mindset that needs to change. Is it's not a competition. It's not this business or I work for somebody, but this person doesn't. They work for themselves. Like, we need to come together as a community, and that's what's going to lift it. It's like lift everybody up together. That's the important.
Yeah, absolutely. And by getting together with like-minded people at events like yours on January 16th at the Phoenix Zoo. If anyone's interested, you can follow the website there, sixfiguremassage.club, find out all information about how to sign up for the event. I believe it's $25. Is that right?
It's $25 the ticket.
$25, and that comes with all the supplies and the ticket to get into the zoo, right?
It's your zoo admission.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. Oh, we got a comment that just came in. Let me see. Where's my mouse? Oh, okay. Let's see what the question is. How can you get a job with a company that doesn't offer it as a job, but will know it will help their people? I want to work for a wrestling company. Wrestling. Oh, so unsure how. So, okay. So I like this idea, because what if you have an idea of a company or a place you want to work in? And
that's the networking,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So you just start reaching out to people in that industry. So, like, I met a guy maybe 6 years ago when he was going to massage school, and he wanted to work for pro baseball, and that's what he did. Yeah, he made it happen. And you just start reaching out, and no doesn't mean no forever. It just means no for that one moment in time. Right. So the more that you can start reaching out, networking, I know that word keeps coming up, but get on Instagram, look at the people that are doing maybe similar to what you're doing, and you just send them a message and ask them. Just start asking people who are already there, and I guarantee you they will respond with positive feedback for you.
I think so. I think the majority will. I think there are a lot of people who feel like, I know what it was like to get here, and I know what it takes for us to all be better together. And I think that really helps.
And locally too, there's probably studios that you can go to. I don't know if you're in that, if you know anybody in that industry already, or if you're involved in wrestling at all, or but physically going to those locations.
Yeah, we've had students before, like, they just happen to be a member of a boxing gym or whatever. And so they're like, I'm just going to start talking to the people there. They were like just a member. They weren't like anybody high up or anything, but just start saying, hey, I'm in school right now and I'm doing this, and getting them to come into the student clinic and start making that establishment. And just knowing your industry too, knowing what it is that you do. So that's really important. I think,
like,
talk about it.
I'll give you an example. So I I was in the horse industry. So I wanted to be able to massage more people in that industry. So I went and I talked to somebody who already had a booth set up. And it was kind of funny because we were like, his booth was like here, but then the bleachers were like right next to it. And he's like, okay, well, you can set your table up, here in the bleachers. And then when people come into my booth, I'll tell you. I mean, it was on the up and up. It sounds shady, but it worked.
Sounds funny. Yeah.
It's like you're using another business that's then, propping you up. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, if you're going to a wrestling event, it's the same thing. There's probably already vendors that are there set up. So I mean, it's insert whatever the event is, and then you're going to go and you're going to ask somebody who's already paying a vendor space or is there, and then
yeah, I love that. And I think it's really important in the industry to have like a set clientele too that you're marketing to, if that's what you want to work with. Yeah, exactly. That really helps, because I know when I started, I'm like, I'm gonna do hot stones, I'm gonna work on these people, and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't like any of those things.
I know. That's I put a section in the book too for you to focus in on what specifically your niche is and who you're gonna market to, because it is important to kind of narrow your focus. So that's amazing that you already have that figured out and you're gonna go far.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks for that comment. And thank you, Miss Leanne, for asking that question. So, Lacey, I want to be respectful of your time and everyone else's too. And I know we're getting close to our hour conversation. So I just want to recap to make sure everyone knows to go visit your website, sixfiguremassage.club, find out about the book and the workbook, which sounds amazing, with all the activities to keep you on track to set your goals. And to set your goals, they can come to the event on the 16th. That they can find it also on the website. I know it's right when you get on the website right there to join. Was there any thing that we missed that you want to make sure that we talked about?
Oh my gosh, we covered so much. But no, if you have any questions for me, reach out. It's sixfiguremassage@gmail.com, or you can find me on social media. I'm happy to help. So
I love that.
It's a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're not getting away yet. I got to ask you the hot seat question. So make sure you get that, because everyone needs to know about all this about Lacey. All right. So Miss Lacey, which talent or superpower would you most like to have?
Okay, I thought about this, and there were two. So I feel like one's like a Miss America answer and one's kind of a fun answer. So my fun answer is I would like to be able to hold my breath underwater forever.
Nice.
So I could just stay down.
Like a fish. I love it. Like a little mermaid.
And then my Miss America answer, which is actually more my true answer, is I really would like the superpower to be able to take away suffering. I think that's completely unnecessary. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. If you weren't a massage therapist or doing the field that you are right now, what occupation do you think you'd like to?
Okay, it's off the wall too. I would be an Egyptologist.
Oh, very cool. Do you do a lot of studies now and check out the different event, tours and things that they have?
So I went to Egypt last year, and I would go back every year if I could. But
that's awesome. You seem like a traveler, because
this is very recent. Yeah, I've mainly just kind of worked and kept my head down the majority of the time, and then when last 2 years I started taking bigger trips and planning and goal setting a little bit better.
Oh, that's great. See, always transitioning, right? And always improving on where we are and what we're doing. So I love that. Not that everyone has to go take big vacations, but I saw a couple of your pictures, and
what speaks to you. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, if money and circumstances weren't issues, where would you most like to live in the world?
So like we talked about traveling, I really haven't been that many places. I would definitely keep my base in Arizona. I'm from here. I love it. But I would buy an island. I would love to have an island.
Oh, great. Yeah. Have the beach right at your feet every day. I love it.
Yeah, no shoes ever.
Yeah. And so a lot of our students love coming here because we actually have no shoes in the classroom, and they're so excited to kick off their shoes, I'm home. So I
love it. You're grounded. Yeah.
What is your most treasured possession?
So I thought about this for a while too, and I don't really have a treasured possession. I have treasured memories. I mean, as long as I can keep them, yeah, I love taking pictures. And so I think when I look back at the pictures, then, the whole day comes back to me. So that's honestly my most treasured,
Oh, great.
um, yeah,
I love that
gift.
answer. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
I would definitely tell my 18-year-old self not to get married in my early 20s. So you can't tell anybody that age, they will never listen.
No.
So it doesn't, that's what I would have told her. She wouldn't have listened.
Yeah.
But advice that maybe somebody would listen to in their 20s or at 18 is get a mentor, a successful mentor, and keep one.
Yeah.
Even if you have to find a new mentor or you've outgrown that person, I think that's the most.
I love that. You keep growing. Oh, you have such good pearls of wisdom, Lacey. I love it.
Thank you. Well, I just turned 40, so hopefully
I've
learned something.
I wish that were the answer. We just turned 40 and we all become wisdomous.
Okay. Oh, it was a trip to Egypt.
Yeah, there you go. You collected something from the wise pyramids. And such. Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for this conversation today. I really enjoyed it and getting to know you, and can't wait to see everything that's coming your way for the networking. And we'd love to support you here to keep growing it, and any way that we can, and we'll keep.
I'll try to make a trip over to the school too.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, see everybody. All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.
I don't know where